Yeah, it's just special. I mean, these guys, since they've been little kids, have had dreams of playing in the professional National Football League and play professional football. And today's a day where they can showcase their talents for, I think there's 30 of the 32 NFL teams here today. So that's it's really good, and our guys look great. So I'm just praying for them that they'll have a great day and that they'll be able to put up some good numbers.
Greg, you were obviously in the NFL. How much do you guys weigh game tape versus pro days?
Oh, I think it all goes in. All the data points go into the equation. Interviews, game tape, workouts, combine, all that stuff, the visits, the draft visits, and then like anything else, just like recruiting, you put all it together. Some people use more analytics, some people use more gut feel, but at the end of the day, all that information goes into something, whether it's your mind or a computer, and you come up with a determination who's best for your club.
With someone like Adam, he did the Senior Bowl, he did the Combine. What more can he show you out here today?
Well, I think just the fact that he's willing to show every time. He wants to go out and do it. As a coach, I like that, right? This is a guy, some people don't want to do it. He wants to. Let me show you what I can do, especially in the fact that he is an Aussie-style kicker that is transitioning to, the pro-style kick. I think as many times as he can show him he can do it, the better.
Just going back to last year and what Isaiah Pacheco did, obviously he had a strong combine performance and then followed it up with a strong pro day performance, and we know where that led to. Is he kind of the perfect example of how much you can help yourself with a strong showing here and where that can lead to when you impress teams like that?
Yes and no, right? Because I think people want to make it about the pro day or about the combine. What he did was practice as hard or harder than any player I've ever coached in 36 years. So that is day after day after day showing up and working like that. So what he does here and what he did in the combine was just a manifestation of what he did every day as a Rutgers football player. And again, some things converged, and we had a beautiful moment for him and for the Chiefs, and that's really cool to see.
What is this like for you as a coach? You recruit these guys, you develop them, you watch them grow over the years. For them to have this moment, what's it like for you to watch them?
Yeah, I'm proud of them. I hope that I always want to make sure that there's not so much pressure on them that it steals the joy of the day. Like, they've put a lot of work into this, and I know it's a job interview. I get all that, but I just want them to relax. What they do from the end of the season till now, there's an incredible commitment by these guys. Now, yes, they've committed all the years of their college career, but they kind of go into Spartan living for 3 or 4 months to really get ready for a job interview like today.
Greg, how do you think the success of last year's players has sent these scouts here today to look at Rutgers players differently?
Well, I think, Fuch, as we get back to where we were and then beyond that, you can remember when this place was packed and there was head coaches and GMs and scouts, and that's where we're headed back to. The players that'll keep coming out of here are just going to keep going like this and this and this. And we're a developmental program, so we'll continue developing them. And when JB has a chance to have a guy for 4 years instead of 2, you're going to see physically even better looking guys out there. So, yeah, it's a manifestation of guys starting to play. We had 5 guys that ended up on clubs last year off that 21 class, and hopefully, or what would have been the 22 class, the 22 draft class. And now here comes the 23 class, and there's going to be some more.
Just looking around, there's a lot of your younger players here, too, to show support and kind of watch those guys. I mean, what does that mean to see that, and how important is that just for them to kind of get a glimpse of what this is like?
Well, these guys are like brothers, right? They spend almost every moment together. They're in study hall together. They're in classes together. They're in practice, training. As I tell them, they're so fortunate because this is the one time in your life where all your best friends live all together, right? You go down the hall, you go anywhere, they're all together. It'll never be again like this in your lifetime, and I tell them really enjoy it. And you can see the brotherhood that's out there. I mean, how excited, literally, just genuinely excited the players were for each other. I love that.
You had Christian Izzy for a few years. What would you say to a team that were thinking about selecting him or signing him?
Yeah, Christian Izzy is a smart, tough, explosive football player who may not be the tallest guy in the world, but he makes up for that with his physical skills. He'll play in that league.
Greg, I'm sure you have a ton of NFL connections, contacts. What's the overall feeling from those guys, and what kind of feedback are you getting from them on this group?
Well, even though you have contacts, people aren't sharing what they think. I don't even care if you're friends or not. You keep it very close to the vest because it is, intellectual property. How you evaluate them, where they sit on your board, So I think right now it's everybody close to the vest. And as I tell the players, they'll say, well, Coach, these 4 teams have been talking to me. I said, well, then they probably won't take you. And it's always somebody that you don't think comes out of nowhere and selects you. So, but it's exciting time for them. They're learning how the process works, and with the help of some of their agents and some of the former players that are playing in the league, it's cool.
We talked during the season about how much Christian Broswell had gone through since he got here, and I guess what is it like to see him out there now, and what do you feel like his potential could be in the NFL?
Christian's another guy he'll play in that league. He's explosive. He's got a good football acumen. I just wish I had a longer experience coaching him. You saw what he did last year. He was one of our better players. I just wish we had him for 2 years, but we didn't. He had the injury. But we've had a lot of DBs. Like, irony that today was the official retirement of Devin McCourty, right? Just happened a few hours ago, right? To have another bunch of DBs working out here this afternoon, we've been fortunate in that position. We've put out a lot of guys.
Greg, going back to your time in the NFL again, what's the craziest interview or the best memory of interviewing guys from your days there?
Well, back in the day, they still do this at the train station, at the combine. You have those 15-minute interviews, and then they rotate. And we had one early on my first year where I literally thought there was going to be, I wouldn't say a full-fledged fight, but the athlete, the player, and one of my coaches, I said, whoa, fellas, but this doesn't need to go there. So, yeah, that was pretty funny. Yeah. Glad it didn't turn into a fight. I was not looking to get punched by either one of those guys. All right, thank you, guys.